So I guess now that the new wiring rules, it's mandatory, it's come into effect. So where does the onus fall into ensuring compliance?
At the end of the day, the onus is on the electrician to make sure he complies. There's different systems in each state, but when they carry out installation work, they provide a certificate of compliance. It's called different things in different states, but effectively it's signing off that I've done this to that book. And then the regulators hold that as record that this has been done properly. So the onus initially is on the electrician, the installer. The onus comes back to the designers as well. So the consultants in our industry, they should be following that book as well to make sure that they're not contravening or taking things out of context. Similarly, I guess the manufacturers use the wiring rules as a bit of a guide for some of their products and how they should be installed and that sort of thing. So it is a legal document. It's legislated in each state. So if you do contravene it, you are breaking the law. It's as simple as that. And the regulators are the ones who mete out that justice, I guess. If you're wrong, they mete out the law. So.
Has there been much training done in the lead up to this becoming mandatory?
A very interesting comment, because the reason why we got so many comments was because this was the first time that the standards, EL1, have actually taken the changes to the industry before it was written. Very different concept. We got tacit approval for that because normally the stuff that goes on inside the committee meetings, commercial and committee in confidence. But we felt that because this was such a big change, for clarity, we needed to actually go to the average punter and the consultants and say, this is what we want to do, what do you think? And so we got a lot of comment back at those first seminars. I think I've been doing them for 3 years before we published. Just to my customer base from Clipsal, I'm sure that these guys did very similar. And that led to an unprecedented public comment. I guess we were the master of our own undoing, having so many comments, but it was good that we actually had feedback from the industry before we published, instead of the usual, we published, now find out about it. So it's been good from that point of view.
NECA and regulators also do road shows around what's changing and so on within their own membership constituencies and areas where they have responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. If a contractor rocks up to an installation that was compliant with the previous edition of the standard, do they have to address anything to make it compliant with the new version?
No, not. The wiring rules is never retrospective. So what was done as an installation to 2007 or to this one here, 1986, is considered safe. Now, we all know that probably things have moved on, so they're a basic form of safety. So there's nothing that they need to do to existing unless they talk to the customer and say, hey, would you like it upgraded to the latest? And then that's quite up to the customer whether they make that decision. So it is not retrospective. And we've been at pains to point that out in regard to alterations and repairs. We've been quite specific about how that's applied. So, yeah.
Where RCDs are required, if you're extending a circuit, you actually only need to protect the extended part. So you can put a RCD at a point in the circuit and extend to there. You don't have to go back and protect what's existing, because that was compliant with that original version of the rules.